If you are in the mood for some classic trucking, then this might just be for you. Let's go and check it out. Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to ETS2, here with a mod spotlight for a brand new truck, brand new classic truck, the Magirus Deutz. I think that's how you pronounce it. This truck in particular is done by, it's either Ventires or Ventires. You guys help me out. Probably depends where he's coming from. But I think he's somewhat new in the community, at least in the ETS2 community. And so far, it's looking pretty great, this truck, from what I've seen. So we'll go and check it out in more detail. We'll have a look at the config options. We'll go and truck with it a bit to get a feel of how this truck behaves, okay? So first things first, let's hear how the engine sounds. The sounds are from Krishmom, actually. And Krishmom made a review video of it. I love how the engine seems to be gasping for air. Not bad at all, eh? And I think the sounds are actually from the same truck. Not sure how Krishman managed it, but here we are. Not sure if he recorded it or if he got it from some sound samples on YouTube, but you guys let me know if you have more details, okay? So this is how the interior looks. Properly custom, as classic as it looks. Beautiful. Let's go and check out the config options that we have. Now, I was trying to find it in the vehicle browser. Usually I would go here so that I can easily compare the different FPS, the different triangle counts from the trucks, but I can't find it here. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a setting somewhere that it missed. Now it is available in the Iveco dealer, but at the same time you can also access it from the mod dealer right here, their Iveco brand. Magirus Deutz D series. If we look at the triangle count here, instead, Minicon 1, we'll see that the triangle count is 2.8 million. That's actually not bad. An SCS truck is around a million triangles. This one is like 2 or 3 times that, but that for a modded truck, that's actually not too shabby. So I don't expect you would be getting any negative impact on performance here with if you have a half decent rig. If it's not a potato, then you should be fine. What's more interesting though is when I go inside in the interior, the triangles actually lessen. I think this is, I don't remember seeing that before. It's 2.8 outside and it's 2.2 inside. Normally when you go inside, it like multiplies the exterior model like 2.8 times 3. So I was expecting around 6 million here. So actually, this is even more optimized, I think, than an SCS truck when you're inside like this. And I guess it has to do with the mirrors. I think there are some mirrors that are missing here, like the front, the side, the wide angle mirror there. And I think because the mirrors are less, the triangles are less as well. Less things to render. So it is very frame optimized in that way. The model is not too shabby either. The texturing is okay. I'm getting a bit of My Summer Car feel on this part here, but on the actual steering wheel and the dashboard, I think it looks pretty good, especially the logo. The logo is super high quality. Right. So don't worry about performance, you should be good. Now in terms of the config options, not a lot. You have a 6x2, is it 6x2? And then 4x2. No, actually this is 6x4. It says powered axles is 2. Okay, so 6x4 and 4x2. And then you have 3 different engine options with the badge updating depending on which you pick. You have a ZF12 speed, which is the standard, or I think the one realistic for this truck is the 8+1 speed. And there, it even comes with its own shifter layout. If you want to do manual transmission and follow that 8+1, then that can work. But I think you'll have to extract that shifter layout into your profiles, documents, profiles folder, so that you can choose it in the manual transmission option. Right, interior, we've seen that already. Only one option. Couple of paint jobs available here. Trans-Europa, customized paint job, so he includes a template in there. And then we have different options here. Some of them are changeable in terms of paint. This is the one I chose, I think. So you can put it like that. This one I think I made into red. And then these two up the top I think I made into gray as well. Something like that. That's how the truck that you've seen in the beginning of the video looks like. Pretty sleek, pretty classic. Now in terms of options, you have a couple of different options here. Roof deflectors if you like. Can have an antenna left, right, or both sides. You can have a light bar, which is pretty interesting. Looks like the horns of a demon from this angle, but from this side it's actually pretty nice. Or you can have some slots in here if you like to have like fog lamps or something, or beacons. That can work. Let's stick with the light bar. I think I like that. Okay. Now the intake, can have it stock or painted. And then the Magirus Deutz logo, you can have either that one or this one. Pretty sleek, centered and everything. A TRR badge, an Iveco badge, which makes me think, is a Magirus Deutz an Iveco? Maybe Iveco bought the Magirus Deutz. I don't know the history, so you guys will have to help me out. Let me know in the comments, okay? But yeah, that is an Iveco badge. If you go in, look, that is actually an Iveco badge there. Interesting. Okay. Right, bumper options, not much. You do have options for fog lights in here though, and some corner deflectors. It only comes with black though, so it's not really fitting with the color scheme I have. You can have some horns as well in here. Some air horns, right? Pretty good. Front fender, only stock available. Now here, oh, this is something I missed. You can actually have a toolbox in there. It even comes with a padlock. Nice attention to detail. The frame can either be stock, which is this red thing, or it can be paint depending on your paint scheme. That actually looks pretty cool. Starting to regret my decisions in the truck that we're going to drive with. This is looking pretty nice. At the back here, not much choices. You do have the auxiliary reverse lights in there. In here you can have like a rear fender, no option as well. And then the badge, FSG badge, what does that mean? Nothing good, I think. Caution, I have no idea. You let me know. Okay. About the tires, it comes with custom tires actually. Magirus D. Everything. The tires, the wheel, the nuts, the bolts, the hub. Everything is custom, and you can change that into like the painted version. So you can have like a custom paint job in there, or keep it the default red. Same at the back. I think that's a Dunlop tire if you look at it. Yeah, that's a Dunlop tire. Nice. Pretty good, at least you don't have to worry about it anymore. Good. Alright, inside. Wait a minute, something bugged out in my view. Okay, there you go, it's back. Inside, there is no option for the steering wheel. The steering wheel is actually, I think, pretty old school. You can't even adjust it, which might be actually realistic. Maybe the truck, but this classic truck doesn't allow steering wheel adjustment in reality. Maybe kind of blends. Put a sandwich in there. Comes with default cabin accessories, although I don't think it comes with the update yet. I don't see the new stuff in here yet. So that might not have been included. Can put the side mirror in here if you want. There is no option for the front mirror, but look at this one. This is what I mentioned. If you look at the triangle count, so it's 2.3 million right now. You add the side mirror there, it becomes 2.9 million. So yeah, you can imagine why the triangle count is very good. There's no extra wide angle mirror on the side there. There's no side mirror, you can take it off. That will really optimize your performance. And if you're not really using those anyway, then that's good riddance, right? Free performance basically. Okay. What else? You can have the... Now for the side mirrors, the main mirrors, you don't really have an option. So it's really just that, and it's plastic, I think. You can have a GPS here, or what I recommend is this one right here. Garmin GPS by 50K, which is very nice. Even from outside, you can actually see it right there. Pretty good looking. Pretty custom looking. And then you can have like a dashboard accessories here, which is compatible with any of your usual cabin accessories. I have the Clumsy mug even there if you have the NL mod. It comes with a sun visor. I realized the classic trucks are very fond of this greenish tint sun visor. I'm not sure why, but that's what I noticed. Other classic trucks as well have this default green color. Not really a huge fan, but since it's Christmas, red and green kind of fits. Standard plate. What else? I think that's mostly it. Oh yeah, and yes, you can choose a hanging accessory right here. But yeah, only the default ones and not the new cabin accessories included yet, unfortunately. Hopefully there will be an update for it soon. Right? But that's how the truck can be configured. Now let's take it for a test drive. We are in Italy, in Rome, I believe, going to Napoli, Naples. It's going to be a simple 251-kilometer journey by the A1. Nothing fancy, but it should give us an idea of how this truck feels on the road. Let's get it. Alright. I'm letting you hear the engine as it bursts and revs up. Actually not bad, huh? And yeah, performance is silky smooth. I'm also not done yet with the Christmas deliveries, so I'm taking you guys with me. I'm only 8 out of 15, and I heard that the community has finished with all the community rewards already. So as soon as I finish all these 15, then I should be able to get all those 5 rewards as well. I think there are 5 rewards. Engine brake. Not too shabby. We'll test out the retarder in a bit. Very classic sounding engine as well. So yeah, a couple of guys are behind this entire truck. I think it's Ventires. How do you call him really? Ventires. For the actual model. There was someone else for the textures. I'm sorry, I forgot the names, but I'll leave a link in the video description so that you can download it for yourself and get more info on it. For sure, Krishbom is the one behind the sounds. That one I'm sure of. But the other guy, sorry, I should have studied it better. Beautiful. Does it snow like this in Rome? I guess not often, huh? But that's okay. Get a bit of winter vibes in here. The speedometer is huge. The analog speedo. The huge left dial. And then the inner dial is actually an analog clock. I think youngsters these days have a hard time reading analog clocks already. They're pretty used to digital clocks, so that might be a challenge for some. But that's an analog clock right there. 7:05 AM. Well, AM? Yeah, 7:06. Close enough. And then you'll have to help me out with the dials here. That one on the right most is the fuel level. Here, the one to the left of that, I think, I don't know, is oil, maybe. The one to the left of that, I'm not sure. That might be air pressure. And then the dial on the bottom, which is getting covered, is the tachometer, the revs, which is pretty interesting. Good. The placement of the revs, the tachometer is a bit interesting. I don't know why it's there, but yeah, it's pretty hard to see. You can almost not see it. You'll only see the needle when it gets to around the 2000 RPM range. When do you shift anyway? Let's see. Yeah, I can hardly see it. It's getting covered. So basically, this is one of those cases where you play it by ear. Yeah, and then you shift when you hear that the engine is struggling already. But yeah, for a classic truck, don't think you can get any better than this. I'm sure we have some fans out there, trucking enthusiasts who are more fond of driving the classic feeling trucks rather than the modern ones. If so, then this would be the perfect one for you. And I like the vibe. Gives you that raw feeling. No technology whatsoever except for the GPS. Back to basics. I kinda enjoy it. Coming from like playing Cyberpunk and then getting thrown into this classic truck, the vibes are real. Although that being said, on a different note, I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. I bought it over the weekend. Going to play it over the holidays. Won't be making any videos on it though, as it's a mature theme and doesn't fit the channel, but you know, something for my own recreation, for my free time. It's good getting exposed to these games so we know what's out there and we have better comparison on how things are outside the trucking world that we are so used to. Beautiful. In terms of mods, of course, this is Frosty mod, and then the skies are natural lux. Although that being said, the clouds look a bit blurred, so I'm not sure if there is something wrong with my sky boxes. I'll have to double check that. But the lighting itself is definitely natural lux. Lighting is beautiful, even though it can get bright sometimes. It's good. Looks great. Maybe turn off the lights there so it's not overly bright. But yeah, the Frosty mod and NL, they tend to be, that combo tends to be a bit too bright sometimes, especially in the midday and when you're exposed to a lot of snow. So it does get a bit snowy, gets a bit bright and overexposed at times, but I guess in reality that is actually pretty close. Look directly at snow when it's midday and when the sun is out, not very cloudy outside, and I bet that you'll actually have to avert your gaze a bit, get a bit too bright for your eyes. You'll have to wear some sunglasses or something. So even though some people are complaining about the brightness of natural lux, for me it's actually quite real. It's not pleasant, but it's real. So I like it. And I'm going to try and keep NL as long as I can, as long as it is working. Although that being said, with everything that SCS has been sharing with us, it looks like NL, it will be the end of NL come 1.40 this January, or when did they say? First quarter of 2021 for sure. On version 1.40 comes with lighting updates, Germany phase 3 rework, I believe, the other updates that we are looking forward to, but mainly the lighting in skyboxes. The game will look so different then, and I think we'll have to reevaluate if we still need graphics mods, especially skyboxes and lighting, because based on the screenshots so far, the new default lighting will be as natural as it gets, hopefully. It does not disappoint. The hype is building, and we all know what happens when the hype builds too much. Learn from what? Microsoft Flight Sim? Learn from Cyberpunk. When you build up the hype too much, no one can meet that hype, and it will only result in disappointment, which is sad because the overall product, even though the overall product is great, because the hype was built so much around it, it ends up disappointing people even for a great product. Like for example, Flight Sim, right? Flight Sim 2020, so many people have complained about it during the release. It's constantly improving with each update, but that initial release, that launch, was very bad in terms of reputation. Lots of people went away from it, and there were so many complaints because it was the expectations were not met. It was pretty buggy initially, stuff like that. So it was a bit expectation versus reality kind of thing. And especially, I think Cyberpunk is the number one case for that. If you talk about hype and expectations that were or were not met. I've been watching a couple of videos about that. How Cyberpunk was hyped through the years of its development, and how it disappointed people when it finally came out. I even saw a video comparing GTA San Andreas, which was released 2004, comparing it with Cyberpunk, which was released 2020. And like, in terms of points, in terms of gameplay, in terms of what you can do in an open world sim, in an open world game, it was like something like 30 points to San Andreas versus 6 points to Cyberpunk. So you can do so much more things in San Andreas, which was a game from 2004, than in Cyberpunk. So lots of expectations that were not met. But for me, as a person from the outside who was even familiar with Cyberpunk at all until the day of its release, literally until the day of its release, I did not know anything about it except that it was going to feature Keanu Reeves. I had no idea what the gameplay was going to be like, the setting was, the story, nothing. So I didn't have any expectations, and then I bought it, I played it, I enjoyed it. so hype can be a very dangerous thing, and I know us content creators, we don't really help with controlling that so much, because we are part of the group that builds the hype, not intentionally, but because we're so excited, we're sharing that excitement. So the excitement fuels we fuel each other in terms of excitement. I'm excited, you get excited, you're excited, I get excited, and it builds and builds and builds and builds until the hype is not manageable anymore. So maybe in 2021 we learn a bit more. Maybe, probably not, but this is the way it goes. I mean, the history repeats itself over and over, right? I mean, talk about No Man's Sky is one of those. No Man's Sky is something I tried to... I got into the hype there. I was familiar with the promises and how it became... Oh crap, what's happening there? Merging problems. No Man's Sky is one of those examples again. Cyberpunk is the modern day No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was promising the universe, even literally, because you could explore the universe, all the galaxies, all the planets, procedural and everything. And then when it came out, yes, you can travel, but you can't do anything in there. So it got a lot of refunds, got a lot of mad people and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how it goes. When you build up the hype, eventually the hype will be too much that no one can, no matter how great the game, can't meet the hype anymore. Eventually, No Man's Sky became a great game. It's not something I like anymore, like not to my taste anymore, but yeah, with all the updates that has come out, I think it has eventually become what it promised. So that's great. Oh, it's looking great. Italy filled in snow. Looks pretty good actually. The lighting, the contrast, the shadows, right? The super bright snow contrasting with the shadows adds so much to the scenery. So yes, hopefully we can manage our expectations more in 2021. I'll try to help with that, so whenever I share some updates, if I get something, a news or early access, we'll try to be as objective as possible. We'll try to give a watch out of the pitfalls of the possible limitations. We'll try to manage our expectations basically, so that we can appreciate the product more and not expect too much from it. But yeah, all in all, SCS has been very good in that regard. I have highest praise to SCS because they stick to the facts, you know. The hype builds up, but it's not because they're promising too much. They're actually not promising anything. They're sharing some stuff and they're not committing to anything. So any expectations that we might have gotten is basically our own imagination. It's not like other developers. I think that's why people are mad at Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red because of that. Because they promised so many things. No Man's Sky was the same initially. They promised so many things, but delivered on so little. SCS thankfully doesn't do that. They say something is coming, but this is not the final product and stuff like that. So there are lots of disclaimers. And all in all, you get a taste of what's to come, but nothing is really confirmed. So it's up to your imagination to like fill in the gaps. And that imagination can be very powerful. But at least that is something that we can manage. Because if SCS commits to a certain thing, so far they've done it. In some cases, people get disappointed. Some maps are not as good as others. Some are even better than what we've expected. But in my point of view, SCS is doing the right thing. They're not overcommitting. They're not even committing on an actual timeline. You know, it's ready when it's ready. Quality over quantity, quality over time. If it's delayed, it's delayed. And I think that makes SCS such a great company. Anyway, something I haven't shown yet. The Windows animation. Look at this when I lower the windows. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, you have a knob there. I guess there's kind of a lock in that front windshield or front window. You have to unlock it before you can roll down the window, something like that. Oh crap, that's not going to go very well for us. This might not be a great thing. I might have to go out. Ooh. Let's have a look where I'm supposed to park again. Oh, it's getting bright now. Yeah, okay. So we might have to occupy an entire lane here. Okay, someone's in a hurry. Goodness. Okay, you wait there. Parking this thing. AI is definitely one of the improvement areas. But then again, you could say that with any game. Looks good. so bright I can't see anything. Can't even see the line anymore. The mirrors are okay, I guess, but the field of view is a bit wide, so it kind of distorts a bit your perspective when reversing. But I guess it's okay. Get used to it somehow. Okay, looking good. Shut it down. And we are good to go. Very nice truck. I like it. Thankfully, the cargo wasn't damaged with that car. Maybe only the truck was. Yikes. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that little ramble, the showcase of this truck. Let me know if you like it, or if you're more into the modern trucks. Let me know regardless. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and I'm looking forward to the comments as always, guys. Clumsy Trucking, and bye-bye. Catch you soon.